COOKBOOK, and today we're making one of my very favorite cakes, and that's a Lazy Daisy oatmeal cake. Boy, is it good. Some people just call it oatmeal cake, but many of you have had this, and we're going to get started on the cake layers first. And the first thing you do is you bring 1.25 cups of water to a boil and put your oatmeal in it. So right now I have got this water over here, and it is pretty much boiling. I'm going to add 1 cup of oatmeal. It's a 1 1/4 cups of water boiling with 1 cup of oatmeal. So I'm going to turn it off. Just give it a stir and let it sit here till we're ready for it in our cake batter. Now we're going to mix up the cake batter. It starts with, of course, butter and sugar. We are going to be using 1 cup of room temperature butter with 1 cup of regular sugar and 1 cup of brown sugar. And we're going to mix that until it's nice and creamy. In our Volume 2 cookbook, you will find the Lazy Daisy oatmeal cake on page 61, and you will find the icing on page 95. So there's our cup of butter. This is our brown sugar. And our regular sugar. All right, we're going to mix it up. All right, we're going to put in 2 eggs. A teaspoon of vanilla. Can't leave out that vanilla. We're going to add our cinnamon, our nutmeg, our salt, and soda. Salt is a 1/2 teaspoon. Soda, 1 teaspoon. Baking powder, 1 1/2 teaspoon. All right, let's see. Cinnamon is 3/4 teaspoon. And nutmeg is 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and it's optional if you don't like it, of course. We love it. We're going to add our oatmeal and then our flour, and then we're done. It's 2 cups of flour. And of course, we're using our wonderful white lily flour when we make our recipe today. We're going to spray our pan with some Baker's Joy. We're using a 13 by 9 by 2, just a regular sheet cake pan to bake this in. All right, let's get this down out of here. goodness, I love this cake, y'all. It is so very good. The first time I made this cake, I said, oh, this has got to be the best cake I've ever tasted. And it is. It really is. We're going to get this in the oven at 350 degrees. And we're going to bake it for about 40 to 50 minutes until a toothpick comes out clean. We'll see you when we make the icing. All right, to make your icing, you're going to start out with a cup of butter melted in a saucepan. You're going to be using a half cup of coconut, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, half cup of chopped pecans, of course some delicious vanilla flavoring, and a 1/3 cup of, you could use half and half, or you can use cream. I call cream, canned cream, evaporated milk is what I'm referencing. You're going to be using a 1/3 cup. Many people ask me, what is canned cream? It's evaporated milk. We're going to get over here to the stove top and we're going to get this started. It's going to be delicious. All right, we've got our butter melted. It is 1.5 sticks of butter, which is 3/4 cup. All righty, we're going to go ahead and add our delicious brown sugar to it. And you're also, I'm going to mix this in and then I'm going to add the cream. So what you're going to want to do is bring this to a slow boil because you want your sugars to melt so that they're not grainy on top of the cake. I'm actually using my monk fruit sugar today. It comes in brown sugar, white sugar, and powdered sugar form. If you're wondering what that is, it's just a 0-calorie sweetener that's natural. There's our 1/3 cup of cream in there. It says do not bring it to a full boil. Do not rush it to melt. Keep it down on the lower temperature. Once the sugar melts, you're going to turn up the heat and bring it to a full boil. Then you're going to boil it for about 3 minutes. I think it's ready. I'm going to pull it up to a full boil now. You're going to turn it up on high. As soon as it starts to boil, you're going to cover it. You're going to boil it for 2 minutes. So it's a total boil of 3 minutes. All right, I'm going to put the lid on it and time it for 3 minutes. I'm just going to make sure it's not sticking or anything crazy. It's boiling good. Now, if you think it's boiling too much and you're afraid it's going to burn, you can always turn it down a little bit. Now, I'm going to bring it over here. We're going to add our other ingredients. You're going to add your coconut, your pecans, and now I'm going to stir in a little bit of vanilla. About a teaspoon. We're going to mix that up. And now we're going to pour it over our cake. All right, let's pour this over our cake and we're going to broil it in the oven. I think I'm going to poke a few holes in the cake first. Now, I don't tell you to do this, I don't think, on my recipe, but this is nice and crunchy on the top, so we are going to poke a few holes in it. It rose up good, didn't it? All right, here we go. Stir it up good. A lot of butter. Now my sugar, because it's monk fruit, may not set up as well as yours, being with real, granulated brown sugar. Got a lot of it on one side of the cake. All right, we're gonna get this in the oven and we're gonna put it on the low broil until it's nice and bubbly and toasty on the top. Make sure you broil it long enough. All right, this thing is on broil. It only takes a minute, so do not walk off and leave it. And this is a delicious cake. There's our delicious cake. Now, I did use that monk fruit sugar, so the icing didn't get as thick as it would have if I'd have used regular brown sugar, but it's going to be good all the same. And I'm going to cut a piece for me and Chris to share. Whew, this thing has been smelling up the house and I have really wanted a bite of it. Lazy Daisy oatmeal cake. Boy, don't that look delicious. Do you remember your mama making this? If not, make sure you make it. Make it a tradition in your house, because I'm gonna tell you, there is nothing better than a Lazy Daisy oatmeal cake. It is moist. It's got that sticky icing on the top. Those pecans are nice and toasty. That is so good, y'all. Woo, it's one of my favorites for sure. I hope you guys try this. It's quick, it's easy, it's in a sheet pan. You just ice it and stick it in the oven and eat it warm. Yummy. Thanks so much for watching Collard Valley Cooks, where we cook like our mamas did. Bye, y'all. Love ya.